If you were to ask me what the number one thing is that drives me absolutely insane, it's this. The programs, the equipment, the promises that are given to parents of autistic children to help them speak, to reduce the problematic behaviors, or help decrease sensory avoidance. Now, don't get me wrong, some of these programs can actually help, and it's not the specific program that's necessarily the issue. It's something much more problematic, in my opinion. Now, recently, I've had a few parents reach out to me to ask about one treatment that I've seen pop up on social media a lot: photobiomodulation. Let's talk about what it is and what it's claiming to do. And by the end of the video, you'll know my exact thoughts on it, and I will tell you the one thing that I always recommend to parents and why. Hi, for those of you who are new to the channel, I'm Dr. Dana Johnson, an occupational therapist with a PhD in child mental health and development, and I help parents of complex autistic children understand what's really driving their child's challenges. Okay, so what is photobiomodulation? Well, from here on out, because it's a mouthful, I am going to refer to it as PBM. Well, PBM is the application of red to near infrared light on body tissues, and it has been explored as a potentially effective, safe, non-pharmacological, and non-invasive treatment option for individuals with autism. Now, it acts at the cellular level, and light penetrates the skin and the skull because it is mostly used as a laser. It looks like a box, and you'll see the red laser, and it's applied to the individual's head, and it's absorbed into the brain tissue. Now, the primary target within the neurons, because remember, it's at the deep cellular level, is the mitochondria, where PBM enhances mitochondrial activity and ATP synthesis. And that mouthful just means that it's the process by which we turn food into energy for absolutely everything we do. Brain function, muscle function, organ function, all of it. So the mitochondria are essential for survival. Now, there's been a lot of research on mitochondria and autism. In fact, there is a significant amount suggesting that upwards of 80% of those with autism have mitochondrial dysfunction. So this is why it's getting a lot of attention in the autism community. So what does PBM claim to do? Well, just like we were talking about, it increases the mitochondrial function. So it makes them more efficient. It helps with those who have mitochondrial dysfunction. Now, it also acts on neuroinflammation or brain inflammation by reducing it, and it reduces oxidative stress, which is cell damage. So cell damage is not good, but this photobiomodulation claims to reduce that, which is good to support the brain health. Okay, what about the research? What does the research say? Well, at this time, the majority of the research is actually done on animals. So animal studies are what's winning here. But there are some human studies that have small cohorts, or meaning that there's just a small group for any real effect size. But some report that their kids have improved sleep. They do report improved social and communication and improved motor control, which for me is really, really interesting. Now, ultimately, all of the research is, for the most part, saying this is safe. So PBM is safe and non-invasive. Okay, so what's my problem with it then? Why did I say at the beginning that I have a major issue and this drives me insane? Well, actually, it's not specifically related to PBM itself. It's actually just all of the programs, all of the devices, all of the clinicians, providers that are pushing these things with promises onto you, parents. And that drives me crazy, especially when they come with a price tag of tens of thousands of dollars. Again, could what they're saying actually come to fruition? Yes, these things you could see these improvements in your child, but when you have to remortgage your house and the evidence really isn't there, it's important to take a step back and make things make sense for you and your family. And please, please don't forget about the foundations, the things that do have evidence behind them but aren't maybe as flashy. They cost much less and can change a lot for your child. And with that, here is what I recommend to every single parent every single time. It has solid evidence behind it, even amongst my own clients, and that is exercise. Okay, so why do I suggest strongly to parents that they need to get their child doing more movement? So exercise, intentional movement. Why? Well, the research behind it is strong. For example, exercise stimulates BDNF, which is, if you think about it, like miracle grow for your brain. So it's helping things in your brain grow and thrive. And there's other growth factors that it supports in the brain. It decreases stress levels to support your child's regulation. It gives body awareness for those who need that input, and it builds more body control and intentional movement. Now, it also increases mitochondria and reduces oxidative stress and inflammation, just like we were talking about with PBM. I'm going to link a number of studies below in the description so you can see it for yourself. Now, let's just talk about overall health. We all need to move more. So I just feel that that is going to help support not only your child, but your whole family, especially when you can do it together. So why aren't we doing it then? Well, it takes time, right? You have to schedule it in your day a lot of the time. It may be too difficult. If you have a child who has whole body apraxia, they have difficulty with starting the movement or stopping the movement or the pace or speed of the movement. You might think it's dangerous to exercise. They may be aggressive or be very dysregulated, and that makes it stressful for everyone. Parents, maybe you don't prioritize it. And what tends to happen is that if parents don't prioritize something, then their kids don't either. And I get it. If we can have that instant change, why wouldn't we opt for that? Okay, so am I saying don't do anything that would be considered a program or an easy fix? No, absolutely not. One thing I've learned in autism is that what works for some may not work for everyone. But I think that photobiomodulation fits within a larger framework of evidence-based tools, alongside things that I talk about all the time: sleep, food optimization, meaning let's decrease or eliminate the ultra-processed foods in the diet. Let's go with whole foods, not necessarily a specific diet. And of course, exercise. And PBM is not a replacement for these fundamentals, this foundation, but instead it's an addition. Exercise drives BDNF, cardiovascular fitness, and whole body metabolic improvement that PBM actually can't replicate, but PBM delivers direct, targeted cellular support in the brain regions, particularly the prefrontal cortex and the basal ganglia, which is so important in motor planning and motor control, that exercise may not reach adequately because the PBM can reach in the deep brain areas. Now, PBM and physical training are both strategies to support brain health, with PBM stimulating brain activity directly and physical training acting as a crucial systemic strategy. I'm going to suggest that the two approaches are better understood as complementary instead of in competition. Now, as parents of autistic children, you are constantly bombarded with all of the ads about the programs, the devices that you should do, and the promises that claim to help your kids communicate better, reduce the problem behaviors, and support the sensory or ease the sensory challenges. Photobiomodulation is one of the hottest trends that I've seen circulating on social media right now. Okay, so what are my thoughts then? Well, to be honest, I want to try it. So I'm going to do my own research study. It'll be small, N of maybe 5 or 10 clients, and nothing that is going to be super rigorous, but I'm going to take data, I'm going to record, I'm going to start using this during my intentional motor sessions with my clients so that I can report back to you with the results. So I will keep you all posted. I'll do another video in the future to document what I found. Now, before you invest in the next trending device or program, ask yourself one honest question. Does my child have a consistent intentional motor program built into their week? And if not, that's where you need to start. And check out these videos on the screen to learn more about how to implement that intentional motor program at home. And it doesn't have to be complicated, and it certainly doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be consistent. So start there. Then, if it works for your family, you may want to consider PBM as a complementary intervention. Now, don't forget to leave me comments because I want to know if you've tried PBM. Please tell us your experience because it won't only help me to better understand and to learn, but even more importantly, to help other parents in our community. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more videos on all things complex autism, both challenges and wins. You've got this. Thank you, and I will see you on the next video.